This is the Chinese Navy. A foreign military airplane, please go away quickly.
We've got to step back and look at all of China's activities.
The next president will face a quandary often called the Thucydides trap.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing.
There's a book coming out, in fact, by a professor at Harvard, Graham Allison, the dean of the Belfer Center, titled The Thucydides Trap.
Professor Allison coined this term to describe the strategic dilemma and dangers that occur when a rising power rivals a ruling power.
It was the rise of Athens and the fear that this inspired in Sparta that made war inevitable.
So note there's two variables, rise and fear.
Where you had a rapidly rising power confronting an established power ended in war.
In terms of outcome, most likely has ended in war.
I don't know, 80% of the time they clash.
The deck was sort of stacked against a peaceful world, at least probability-wise.
Professor Allison's term has caught the attention of many.
The challenge with China is the Thucydides trap that people talk about.
Thucydides trap.
Thucydides trap.
Thucydides trap.
The Thucydides trap.
Thucydides trap.
Thucydides trap.
Thucydides trap.
Including President Xi Jinping of China.
There is no such thing as the so-called Thucydides trap in the world. But should major countries time and again make the mistakes of strategic miscalculation, they might create such traps for themselves.
There's another piece of wisdom from antiquity that says fear, honor, and interest always seem to be the root causes of why a nation chooses to go to hostilities.
I suspect he's probably the only one here at this table who can hear the words Thucydides trap and not have to go to Wikipedia to find out what it means.
Of course, Secretary Cohen has insulted every member of this committee by suggesting that we don't readily understand that.
Escaping Thucydides' trap to avoid war will require nothing short of bending the arc of history.